One trooper injured, 2 people arrested, and an Albert Lee restaurant becomes the backdrop for a police chase drama.
There's 2 guys in there. I heard you were looking for 2 people.
How a traffic stop ended in an interstate chase and a dual arrest just ahead.
We're finishing off a gloomy day, but will the gray skies be sticking around for your Friday? The answer just ahead.
That's a good boy.
And new tonight at 10, Rochester police are getting a new furry officer. So we're checking in on the new K9 in training. KIMT News 3 at 10 starts right now.
KIMT News 3, coverage you can count on. This is KIMT News 3 at 10.
And thanks so much for joining us. I'm George Mallet.
And I'm Katie Lang. First tonight, a story that's been developing all afternoon and evening.
Yeah, troopers assaulted and injured. 2 suspects lead authorities on a high-speed chase before being arrested in an Albert Lee bar.
KIMT News 3's Isabella Basco has been on the case since it began. And Isabella, what are the latest developments tonight?
Well, Katie and George, this is what the scene looked like when 2 were arrested at Sportsman's Tavern this afternoon. But tonight, we're finding out more information about what triggered the pursuit that ended at this Albert Lee bar. Sportsman's Tavern is famous for its cheeseburgers in Albert Lee, but something out of the ordinary happened today, rocking one employee to her core.
I turned around and there was 2 guys in here. And I kind of screamed because I didn't know they were in here.
Luckily, she spotted law enforcement right away.
They go, "What do you got here?" And I said, "Beer." And right then I seen 2 officers outside.
Wendable says this is unlike anything she has ever seen before.
I've never seen that many cops around here all at once because there was a lot of them here.
According to the Minnesota Department of Public Safety, a state trooper was conducting a routine traffic stop on Interstate 90, east of Blue Earth, when he was assaulted by the people in the car. The vehicle fled the scene, triggering a pursuit that was called off a short time later, but it was later found abandoned in Albert Lee before the suspects were apprehended at Sportsman's. Kent Spellman has lived in Albert Lee off and on for 66 years and is a regular at the tavern. He says this is unlike anything he has ever seen or heard.
When I'm in town, I spend some time in the cities, but when I'm here. This is a great place. Nice people, no robberies.
Still, today's events do not scare Wendable or Spellman. It is just a reminder to always stay on guard.
A place can be really safe and it can be secure and nothing can happen for a long time, and then somebody will come and try to rob you or break into your place or whatever. Always be vigilant.
Words of wisdom after a stirring day. George, Mary Wendable, the employee who witnessed the arrest, tells me this is the 2nd time a crime has happened at Sportsman's Tavern. She says they got robbed for the first time on Sunday. So it's been quite an eventful week.
Well, I'll say.
Yeah, and reporting live in the studio, Isabella Basco, KIMT News 3.
All right. Well, the Minnesota DPS says the name of the trooper who was assaulted, as well as the suspects in custody, will be released as soon as possible.
And that trooper was taken to United Hospital in Blue Earth. He was reported to be conscious and stable at the time. Well, new tonight at 10, an Albert Lee school bus hit by a BB gun shot. According to this post on the school's website, happened yesterday afternoon between Lakeview Elementary and Southwest Middle School. The school now asking for anyone with info about who may have been behind the BB gun to contact either the school or Albert Lee Police.
Well, if you were backed up on Highway 14 in Rochester earlier today, we know why. A 2-vehicle accident at the intersection of 11th Avenue and 12th Street Southeast stopped traffic all the way back to the Apache Mall. Law enforcement tells our reporter on scene that an eastbound vehicle collided with one going west at about 4:30 this afternoon, all while the traffic light was yellow. 2 people were taken to St. Mary's Hospital with what are described as non-life-threatening injuries. Well, if you're sick of the damp, dreary weather, you will love what is in store for tomorrow.
I will refrain from singing "The Sun Will Come Out Tomorrow," but only because I don't want to steal KIMT Storm Team 3 meteorologist Sarah Knox's thunder. I just keep tripping up on that Storm Team 3 meteorologist stuff. Sorry,
Not a
Sarah.
problem, George. It is indeed a mouthful, that is for sure. But hey, thanks for not stealing my thunder. Yes, indeed, we've got some sunshine on the way for tomorrow. But let's take a look at the temperatures right now. All of us under the freezing point. Freezing point is 32 degrees. You'll notice none of that on the board. 29 in Rochester, 29 in Preston. Albert Lee, the coolest right now at 27. These temperatures aren't necessarily going to be warming up. And a lot of us did see a bit of precipitation earlier. So we've got wet roads, below freezing temperatures. There is a chance that we could be seeing some refreezing. However, the roadways themselves is a little bit warm from all the sunshine we've had previously. Not to mention the sunshine on the way. Storm Tracker 3 showing us the clear skies on the way. Let's take a look outside right now. Take a look over US 52. As I mentioned, a bit of wet roadways, but luckily they're a bit on the warmer side. Keeping an eye on that closely. All right, George, back to you.
All right, well, thanks, Sarah. A woman accused of shooting out a fast food drive-through window is now admitting to the crime. Bailey Zawicki of Rochester was charged after law enforcement says a domestic dispute in October ended with her shooting the drive-through window at the South Wendy's out with a BB gun. Well, today she's pleading guilty to property damage and will be on supervised probation for 1 year. She'll also have to pay a $300 fine or do 30 hours of community service. When Zawicki was arrested, she told law enforcement she was just having a bad day.
Well, so much happened in Washington today and continues to happen tonight. Frankly, it is a bit overwhelming. First off, the president today signed the $867 billion farm bill. On any normal day, that alone would be a big story. But that signing has been trumped by all of the other developments in the district today. First off, late today, President Trump tweeted that his defense secretary, James Mattis, is retiring at the end of February. The scholar and four-star Marine general is well respected by Republicans and Democrats alike, and his departure, whether he was fired or resigned, has Capitol Hill reeling.
Secretary Mattis was one of the few symbols, the few items of strength and stability in this administration. Everything that indicates stability, everything that indicates strength, everything that indicates knowledge is leaving this administration.
Mattis's departure follows the president's sudden announcement that the U.S. will withdraw all troops from Syria. That decision by the president represents a radical departure from previous U.S. foreign policy. The president says the U.S. has soundly defeated ISIS in Syria, but multiple Pentagon sources have said ISIS remains a threat and a continued U.S. presence in Syria is the only way to prevent an ISIS resurgence. Against that backdrop, the possibility of a government shutdown looms large. The president late today informed House Republicans he would refuse to accept a stopgap measure already passed by the Senate that doesn't include funds for his long-promised border wall.
The president's been clear from the beginning. He wants something that gives border security, and he's not going to sign something that doesn't have that in that. We've been saying that for days, if not months. Anybody that didn't know that the president wanted border security in any funding bill simply hasn't been paying attention.
Tonight, the uncertainty of a potential government shutdown has lawmakers scrambling to devise a solution that could keep funds flowing to some government agencies after Friday's deadline.
Well, the Rochester Police Department is getting a new four-legged police officer, and he may or may not be furry, too. KIMT News 3's Brooke McKivergan is catching up on the new canine's importance on the department.
There's a new man in blue you'll be seeing around the streets of Rochester.
What do you think, buddy?
The Olmsted Rochester Law Enforcement Canine Foundation raised $7,000.
And we raised the money by selling the shirts and the calendars, and now we have some coins also that we're selling.
The foundation steps in to provide money for such things as kennels or dental care for the dogs. And thanks to them, the Rochester Police Department now has a new four-legged officer.
This is the dog that was just purchased. Right now, he's working on things like prey drive and ball drive to get him comfortable being with the officers. And soon, he'll move up to school.
This will be our 8th canine on the Rochester Police Department. We've been authorized in the past for 8. We were just one dog down, so this will just round out and fully complete our unit.
And while they may look like your furry friend sleeping on the couch next to you, these pups are all business.
We do have decent workload with dogs. There's usually not shit that goes by that I don't use the dogs in some capacity. In 2017, I deployed my dog 155 times.
But these police pooches are also PR pups.
A lot of people have dogs on their own behalf, and somehow they can relate to us having dogs. So not only are we using them in the course of patrol work and police efforts, but also with public school demos and other community engagement things.
And at the end of the day, they're more than an officer. They're a lifelong partner and member of the department.
We're assigned the responsibility of having to care for them and train them, and so that includes coming home with us. Really end up bonding and connecting with them in ways that's hard to describe unless you're living it out on a daily basis.
Reporting in Rochester, Brooke McKivergan, KIMT News 3.
All right, favorite story. An alarming new data breach, though, this evening. You'll want to check your statement if you've charged a cup of Joe of late.
Plus, a cancer patient trying to warn others about the disease believes his efforts have backfired, leading to vandalism at his home.
Never get tired.
KIMT News 3 at 10, live from Rochester. Your local news with Katie Lang and George Mallet. Tracking storms with Storm Team 3 meteorologist Sarah Knox. Medical breakthroughs with Amy Fleming. This is KIMT News 3. Local news from your community. We are coverage you can count on.
Well, a new consumer alert tonight. If you've purchased anything at Caribou Coffee or Brugger's Bagels in the last few months, you might want to check your credit card statements. According to a press release from the company, they detected unauthorized access to its point of sale systems at the end of November, which exposed some customer data. Anyone who visited the company-owned locations between August 28th and December 3rd could have had their name and credit card information compromised. There are 7 of these locations in Rochester. No stores in Mason City were affected. The company did send this notice to all of their Perks members via email today. It asked customers who visited these locations to check statements and to contact their credit or debit card company to report any potential unauthorized activity. A North Iowa man battling cancer is trying to educate others about what to look for to catch cancer early.
But as KIMT News 3's Brian Tabak is learning, the kind of messaging needed to spread the word is nuanced.
34-year-old Brandon Erickson is battling testicular cancer. The Iowa farmer started chemotherapy just this week. During this tough time, he's been trying to stay positive and posting these Facebook videos.
So far, everything's good, not feeling nauseous. It's been a good day so far.
He's becoming passionate about helping others catch cancer early.
I had a very aggressive tumor, and the urologist said if I would have waited 6 months to a year like a lot of men, it could have been a very different conversation.
But he says doing what he thought was a good deed turned negative when someone invaded his farm.
We have show animals. Show heifer through her fence into where the sheep are. My cows were out when my girlfriend got home to do chores.
And he remains committed to a positive outlook as he wages his battle. His treatment regimen is keeping him from one of his true loves, hauling gear for his beloved Iowa State football team to their upcoming bowl game.
I love Iowa State, but at the same time, I'd rather get through this. I'm good with getting this done and move on to next year.
For now, getting healthy and taking his message out will take priority over his role helping out the Cyclones with their equipment.
So hopefully everyone watching this is having a good day themselves.
In Mason City, Brian Tabak, KIMT News 3.
Well, still to come, on a cold winter night, nothing feels better than snuggling up under a warm blanket.
And thanks to generous donations, some youth at an area behavioral center will feel just that warmth this holiday season.
I'm tracking some cool temperatures continuing into tomorrow alongside some sunshine, but will it be sticking around? The answer coming up.
We track storms to alert you first. This is KIMT Storm Team 3. Weather coverage you can count on.
Well, hey there, welcome back, everyone. It's almost Friday, and we've got some sunshine on the way, but right now we are dealing with the mostly cloudy skies. You see that over Charles City right now. Charles City, one of the warmest cities across the area right now, still hanging out in the 30s. Now, as for Albert Lea, a little bit cooler, actually the coolest city on the map, but you'll notice the clouds trying to break apart very slowly. It will continue as we head on into the rest of the evening and ultimately into tomorrow morning. Current temperatures, as I said, Charles City, one of the warmest at 30 degrees. However, Albert Lee, the coolest at 27, 29 in Rochester, 28 in Mason City. We're all under that freezing point and will we remain as such as we enter into the early morning hours. So some sidewalks could be a bit slick, especially in areas in Olmsted and Fillmore County. Floyd County caught on a little bit of that precipitation earlier today too. So keep that in mind if you have places to walk tomorrow morning. Current winds still coming in mostly from the north-northwest and still fairly strong. 20-mile-per-hour winds on the surface in Rochester, 24 in Mason City. That's going to push our real feels down into the teens. Quite cool. Storm Tracker 3 picking up on the cloud cover, and as I zoom out, we'll see high pressure in control to the west, and that will be moving our way and bringing us some clearer skies. Sky Tracker 3 is going to pick up on that, especially as we head on into early morning Friday. Still dealing with mostly cloudy skies as we wake up, but things will clear out for the lunch hour. Get to enjoy some sunshine there before the clouds move back in come Friday, and there's even a slight chance for some light snowfall come Saturday morning. We're going to skip ahead now past Christmas, where I'm watching a potential system that has the chance to become a storm. There are 3 different options for this path, or for the storm's path to go. 1 is a warmer system, brings us mostly rain. 2 brings us heavy snowfall. And 3 skips the area when it comes to precipitation, but keeps us very cool. So keeping a very close eye on that as we get closer and closer into next week. Keep up with the forecast. Overnight tonight, we are going to be above average, slipping into the lower 20s with gusts around 30 miles per hour. So it's going to be a bit of a breezy night tonight. The 7-day forecast now where the weekend is always in view. There's that glorious sunshine to welcome in the winter season. We do stay pretty constant when it comes to the temperatures, but there's that system, post-Christmas system, Wednesday and Thursday that I'm keeping a very close eye on because it does have that rain-snow mix potential. So like I said, you're going to want to stick with the KIMT Storm Team 3 forecast. Katie and George.
Sarah, as you well know, it's winter in North Iowa, it's southern Minnesota, and the entire northern hemisphere. And residents at 4 Oaks and Mason City are receiving blankets to keep them warm. The Mason City Loyal Order of the Moose donated the extra layer of warmth to all 52 residents that are part of the Youth Behavioral Center. The idea for the blankets coming as 4 Oaks quilt supply dwindled.
Well, it's a fairly common sight this time of year as you go into various stores around our area, bell ringers from the Salvation Army. But some branches across the country are behind on meeting their donation goals for the Red Kettle campaign. The Mason City Salvation Army has raised around $72,500, and they want to reach $95,000 by Christmas. Last year was a very similar scenario, raising a little under $92,000 shy of the $100,000 goal. The Salvation Army is still running their campaign until Christmas Eve, and they're looking for more volunteers to ring bells.
If you struggle to swallow food and end up choking often, it could be a condition you need checked out. Mayo Clinic doctors explain just ahead. Many people have probably had that choking feeling of food getting caught in your throat at one time or another. Did you know this happens to some people more often, and it's actually a treatable condition? Mayo Clinic News Network's Ian Roth explains.
We've all taken too big of a bite of something and had a hard time swallowing it. Roughly 1 in 2,000 people has a condition called eosinophilic esophagitis, or EOE, that causes it to happen constantly.
They can't vomit it up, they can't wash it down, they end up in the emergency room to have it removed.
According to Mayo Clinic gastroenterologist Dr. Jeffrey Alexander, it's actually a food allergy, but it is treatable. He says most people respond to a special steroid that's swallowed, but he says that's a temporary fix. To improve things long term, he's researching a special diet that eliminates the most allergic foods, then slowly add them back in to figure out what specifically is causing each patient's EOE.
I tell people we're in the second inning of this ball game. These may not even be the right 6 foods, but we took out the ones that historically had the most allergy, which is fish, nuts, eggs, soy, wheat, and milk.
And while EOE isn't life-threatening, Dr. Alexander says he's hoping to prove a simple change in diet can improve the quality of life for hundreds of thousands of people. For the Mayo Clinic News Network, I'm Ian Roth.
Researchers in Australia have created a biopsy imaging needle that helps surgeons avoid damaging blood vessels during brain surgery. Inside the needle is a tiny fiber optic camera the size of a human hair that can detect blood vessels with a high degree of accuracy. In Studio 3, Amy Fleming, KIMT News 3.
Well, the John Marshall boys hockey team looking to get off the schneid and end their losing streak tonight.
Plus, the Byron Bears host Pine Island. Highlights from those games and more next in sports.
The John Marshall Rockets are looking to get back on track after a loss to Century on Tuesday. Tonight, a non-conference game against the Henry Sibley Warriors. We pick up the action in the second period. Pepe Headley Jr. with a nice pass to Drew Lincoln, and he buries that shot for a 2-0 lead. Then a play behind the net later in the second period. Sam Egan can't get it to go, but Headley Jr. does. The Rockets take a 3-goal lead. Warriors with a scoring chance, but Caden O'Connor is denied by Carson Arthur. Arthur stopped 29 of 30 shots in the first two periods. The Rockets get the win. 5-2 is the final. One other boys hockey final to pass along. Another Big Nine matchup. The Rochester Century Panthers were rude guests tonight. They beat Austin 9-2. A quad wrestling tourney going on at Newman tonight. Knights, Saints, Eagles, and Bearcats. Oh my. A lot of pins in the first set of matches. Saints Adams Williams up against Victor Frias, and Frias comes away with the pin. Knights kicking off the night against North Butler. Ben Jacobs looking to secure the pin on J.C. Ulrich and gets it. Bearcats looking for a win of their own, and there it is. C.J. Neidbert gets the pin. Saints Elijah Soltero up against Joel Mendoza. Soltero avoids the pin, but second round, Mendoza secures it. The Byron Bears also looking to bounce back from a loss on Tuesday. Tonight, they were back home to host Pine Island. Jake Bratton with a big play to start the game, gets the steal, and then finishes it at the other end for the Bears. Then Carter O'Reilly with a nice pass to Josh Navratil for the corner three. More offense for Byron. Bratton to Will Holtz for the bucket down low there, but Pine Island finishes strong. They take the win 60-45. Elsewhere tonight, Casson Manorville falls to Winona 60-40, and Grand Meadow beat Fillmore Central 76-57. Some girls basketball scores in Iowa. Houston beat Spring Grove by 30. In Minnesota, Grand Meadow and Triton both get road wins. The Minnesota Wild enter tonight looking for their first win in a week, and a victory over the Penguins would put them right back in the mix for a playoff spot. This one in Pittsburgh, the Wild get the scoring going early. Jordan Greenway gets it past Casey DeSmith to give the Wild the lead, but that was their only goal of the night. Byron Rust scores 2 goals for Pittsburgh, including the go-ahead tally here. The Wild fall 2-1.
Well, thank you very much, Corey. You know, Christmas time is on the way. We've all got our stockings ready, so I thought we'd take a quick peek at what we can expect. It is still fairly early, but right now, mostly cloudy skies, 30 degrees, not too bad. Maybe a flurry here or there. So we might see a little bit of the white snow come Christmas, but overall, things will be staying on the cloudy side. Maybe a piece of sunshine too, so I know a lot of us looking forward to that. But all eyes then go to post-Christmas, where we're watching a potential for another winter storm rolling in. A lot of uncertainty here, but we are keeping a very close eye on that, so stick with the forecast.
We probably do, aren't we?
Absolutely, yeah, we've had so much sun.
As long as we're good through Christmas.
Yeah.
Right. All right, well, thanks for making us your choice for news.
Good night, everybody.
When we say the game room store with so much more, we really mean it. More pool tables and bar stools than anyone in southern Minnesota and northern Iowa. Time to take a fun break at the Family Fun Center in Rochester.
North Iowa's only dedicated memory care community is growing. Country Meadow Place is expanding, adding 20 new 1- and 2-bedroom private assisted living apartments ready for occupancy in the spring of 2019. Country Meadow Place offers assisted living, memory care, and respite stays. Our award-winning team offers 24-hour care, worry-free maintenance, and engaging activities to embrace every moment. Country Meadow Place embraces the individual with the freedom to decorate as you choose. Secure your new home. We're taking reservations now. For more information, contact Kim or Tony today.
Get your highest prices paid for scrap metal at Bucks Recycling. Bucks Recycling has a new location just south of Kensett. We now have a clean concrete yard, over 70,000 square foot metals building, and a full-length certified truck scale where you can see your weight. We buy old farm machinery, steel, copper, brass, aluminum, batteries, and much more. Bucks Recycling can handle small loads all the way to industrial accounts. We are one of the largest buyers of car bodies in North Iowa. Put your junk in our yard. Bucks Recycling, Kensett and Belmont.
Neon signs, dart supplies, pool cues,